811.
Now, why don't these liberal news so-called journalists and news so-called platforms quote me? Because they disagree with me, that's why. I've been right about whether or not you can indict a sitting president. Most of the others have been wrong. I've been right that the president should not comply with a subpoena that demands his appearance before a federal grand jury. Most of the others have been wrong. I've been right that Mr. Mueller, if challenged by one of the defendants or somebody who's subpoenaed or a witness, given the nature of his original appointment and given the nature of his investigation, that his very existence violates the Appointments Clause of Article 2 of the Constitution. I'm right about that, too. So why won't the media quote me? And by the way, I know they're not. This is not an ego thing with me. I'm showing you what the media are. It's because they disagree with me. They don't even want to debate me. So now they'll quote Trey Gowdy, but he's not the only one. There's others out there too. So here's Senator Chris Coons, Democrat of Delaware, on CNN today. They're very excited by Trey, if that is his name. John Berman, dumb as a doorknob, by the way. He's the host. Cut 4, go.
This was a stark, almost stunning statement from Congressman Gowdy, who was...
No, it wasn't. No, he's a gadfly. He's a gadfly. Go ahead.
To see the intelligence behind, the fact that this confidential source was sent to talk to Trump campaign officials after Republicans and the president have been saying we were spied on. Trey Gowdy saying, What do you make of it?
Well, John, I'm grateful that Congressman Trey Gowdy, Republican of South Carolina.
See that? They can't. They're slobbering. Trey Gowdy, Republican South. They don't like Trey Gowdy. They think he's a knucklehead. But he's a Republican of South Carolina, man. And I'll tell you what, now they're going to quote the hell out of him. Just like Comey. They hated Comey's guts. Hillary and the rest of them, Schumer, Pelosi, Reid, they all blamed him for Hillary's loss. And I told you as soon as it happened, the minute Trump fires Comey, all of a sudden, Comey's God. My God, he walks across water. And Trump is dirt. Now Trey Gowdy, who they hated over Benghazi. Now, listen to Trey Gowdy, Republican South Carolina, much like Lindsey Graham. What's going on in South Carolina anyway? What is... All right, anyway, go ahead.
And made this important statement. He certainly demonstrated some partisan leanings in the past when he helped run the Benghazi hearings.
But not anymore. Trey is bipartisan. Trey is objective because he agrees with them. Trey's the man. We love Trey. Go ahead.
Partisan against then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
In this matter, I think he's stepping forward and putting to rest the baseless allegations by President Trump. I'll remind you, unfortunately...
I'll remind you, you schmo. They're not baseless allegations by President Trump. He didn't make them up. They're right there in your favorite newspaper, the Holocaust-denying New York Slimes. There it was. Burped up in the pages of the New York Slimes. The leaks coming from the Department of Justice and from the FBI. All the American people, they would like the way the FBI is being handled. Idiots. All of them. But don't worry, Trey is a Republican. That changes everything. He's a Republican that we can believe in because Trey agrees with them. Wow. He's not partisan anymore. Go ahead.
President has a long history of...
shut up, you idiot. The hell is this schmo anyway? Now, by the way, Delaware was our first state. Did you know that, Mr. Producer? And Delaware's the size of a county in most states. Did you know this? It's the size of a county in most states. When's the last time they had a decent senator from Delaware? Seriously. Now there's Joe Scarborough, ladies and gentlemen. The man of deliverance with the bulbous nose. No offense, it's what I see. And, of course, the beautiful Mrs. What's her name? Oh, Brzezinski. Cut 5, go.
You have Trey Gowdy saying, and God bless Trey Gowdy for saying this.
Oh, God bless. Listen to these fools. Quite frankly, they're wetting themselves over Trey. Thank God, Trey. We've been waiting. Trey, thank you, Trey, for for getting everything so confused and mumbled and jumbled. A spy is no spy. The FBI did what the American people want the FBI to do. Trey says so. Who's Trey? Trey. Thank God. Thank God for Trey Gowdy. Start from the top. Go right ahead, please.
You have Trey Gowdy saying, and God bless Trey Gowdy for saying this.
Yes,
the FBI did it by the book.
The FBI did it by the book. Comey the leaker, McCabe the leaker, McCabe the criminal referral. Stroke the wife cheater. Page the husband cheater. The texters, they did it by the book. The dossier, by the book. The FICE application, by the book. The unmasking, by the book. Now, it's the book of the Kremlin. It's the book of the old Soviets. It's a book, if you will, of a fascistic third world banana republic. But that's okay by MSNBC. And, of course, low IQ deliverance, Joe Scarborough. Who else is he praising in this magnificent edification of his 14 viewers? Go ahead.
Shep Smith saying the FBI did it by the
Well,
book.
if Shep says it, no offense, I'm not allowed to criticize Shep because I'm part of the family now. But only Shep can criticize everybody in the family. Now, that said, if Shep Smith says it's by the book, what greater authority can there possibly be than Shep Smith? Go ahead. Who else does he praise?
It's confirming that Fox News says the FBI did it by the book.
So Fox News says, because Shep says, the FBI did it by the book. Thank you, Shep. Who else? Go ahead.
Judge Napolitano saying the FBI did it by the book.
The senior judicial analyst said it. The former New Jersey Superior Court judge. Very nice man. He says the FBI did it by the book. He's got the indictment issue wrong about a sitting president, got the memos confused. Hey, it's all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major mistakes is okay in my book. It is. It's okay. But now we have the Gowdy Shep, the senior judicial analyst. There was no spy. What the New York Times said is no big deal. So there's an informant. Well, that's only for a criminal case. But this is a counterintelligence case, so that would be a spy. No, you don't understand. Just a little chat here and there. Just reporting back to the FBI. What's the big deal? I mean, what would you expect the FBI to do? You had this guy Papadopoulos who was drunk. Somehow, somewhere, some way, he's with the Australian ambassador. He hears him talking about Russia. And, of course, we have this big diplomatic waiver, which obviously involved John Kerry, the Secretary of State, that allows and encourages the ambassador to talk to the FBI. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? Why are civil libertarians so quiet about all this, by the way? Where's the American Criminal Liberties Union, a.k.a. the ACLU? Where are they? They're quiet. They don't say anything. It's no big deal. All the phony civil libertarians were, and by the way, where are all the libertarians? Well, you don't hear, hey, where are they? Where's all the freedom of the press concerned about government, central government, and our liberties? Where are they? They're thrown in with these guys. Oh. But don't worry. Trey Gowdy, the North Star, Shep Smith, and the senior judicial analyst. Thank God for all of them. Thank the Lord. There was no spy, ladies and gentlemen, so it's been declared. There was no spy. The fact that this professor, who we were told just a few weeks ago, remember, Mr. Producer? Do not reveal his name, said Mark. You can hurt sources. Remember all that? You can get the guy killed. Now his name's out. That's the big deal. What's the big deal? He's a professor. He's just asking questions. Well, he's on the government's payroll. What do you expect the FBI to do? So they keep his name secret to protect him because he's not a spy. He's an informant. But he's not an informant. He's just a guy asking questions. Well, what do you expect the FBI to do? Well, then he's not just a guy asking questions. He's reporting the FBI is getting paid. Hey, got to track down this Russia thing. Well, how come you didn't track it down in the Hillary campaign or the Jill Stein campaign, right? The DNC or with Obama and Biden and all the rest of them. You want to track down the Russia thing? They were in charge of the federal government. They were in charge of law enforcement and the intelligence agencies. What did they do? You want to know about Russian interference? Who knew about it? What did they? Hey. We're not investigating Trump. No. You must be a right-wing conspiracy delusional kook. Didn't you hear what Shep said? Shep said there's no spy. Well, if Shep said it, well then by God, it must be true.
Mark Levin.